Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down downward facing dog. Now this pose is probably one of the first poses you think about when you think of yoga, and you will do a lot of downward dogs in your yoga practice. So today we're going to break it down a little bit further. Now begin by coming to your tabletop position. If you'd like to do a bit more of a warm-up before you come into downward facing dog, then check out my tabletop pose with variations video. When you're ready, come to your tabletop, take your wrists underneath your shoulders, take your knees underneath your hips, and let's begin by taking a couple of cat-cows just to loosen up and warm up your spine. So you're going to take an inhale and arch, look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, curl the opposite way, belly button draws into your spine, look towards your belly. Inhale, look up. Exhale, curl under. Long breath in, look up. Exhale, curl under. Take two more, big breath in. Exhale, curl under. Come back to neutral. And you're going to take just a moment to prepare your hands into the mat. So just check out where your hands are. You want them to be at least shoulder distance apart. A tendency can be for people to bring their hands too close together. So at least shoulder distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. And then check out my hands. So my fingers are really spread out on my mat. And I'm then going to press down through the knuckles of my hands. And there's like a slight lift in my palms. So my knuckles are pressing down, my fingers are spread out, and my tips of my fingers are pressing down into the mat. As you push down, notice how your muscles start to hug into your bones. My elbows are gently soft. So when you feel like you have that base in your hands, coming back to your tabletop, you're going to tuck your toes under on your mat. Press the balls of your feet into the ground, take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, lift your knees just 1 inch off the mat. Stay there, take a full breath in. Exhale, stay. So already this is strong. Inhale. Exhale, stay. You're waking up your core. Take one more big breath in. And then exhale. Imagine that you have a piece of string attached to your tailbone and it is lifting your hips up and back. Diagonally, you're making a long line from your hips, from your tailbone, down to your hands. Just take a moment. So notice my knees are deeply bent still. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. One more big breath in. And then drop your knees for a moment. Just take some sways, some circles over your wrists, over your hips. So downward facing dog is a strong pose. It will strengthen your wrists, your shoulders, your arms. It will also bring in core strength and lengthening through your spine and through the backs of your legs. So we're going to come up once more. So again, spread your hands wide, spread your fingertips wide. Tuck your toes under, lift the pit of your belly in and up. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, press down, lift your hips high in the opposite direction. Is your spine long? So tendency here is to want to straighten your legs. That's kind of picture perfect what you see, straight legs, but actually the emphasis wants to be on your long spine. So for most people, if you straighten your legs, it will bring a curve into your spine. And notice how my weight's now gone forwards into my hands, but my legs are much stronger. So I'm going to bend my knees and press my hips high. So most of my weight is coming back into my legs. You're now going to do a little test. So can you lift one hand off the mat without needing to shift your weight lots? So can you lift? Can you float your right hand off? And your left hand. Notice if I have to come all the way over to the side, probably means that most of my weight is in my hands. So if that's the case, I'm going to walk my hands back a couple of inches towards my feet. So most of my weight is in my legs. My knees are still bent. My spine is still long. Take a moment, just give your head a little shake. Yes and no, let go of any tension there. And again, can you take your hands off the mat one at a time? And you might need to walk further back. And then again, bring your knees down to the mat. Take a little break, circling out through your wrists, your shoulders. So as I mentioned, this pose is great for strengthening your wrists, your shoulders, your arms. And to begin with, it can feel quite intense. So if you shorten your downward facing dog by walking your hands more to your legs, taking more weight into your legs, that can give your arms, your upper body, the time to gain that strength. And then as that becomes easier, you can then start to walk your dog out more and find more length. We're going to do it one more time. So this time you know where you're going. You're going to take your hands wide, spread your fingertips out, tuck your toes under, lift your hips high towards the back of the room. This time you're going to walk your dog out. So that means you're going to press one heel down towards the mat at a time. So this is focusing on the stretch and the length in the back of your legs. Breathe into that stretch. And then find stillness. So one last thing that I want to speak to is your legs. So then you don't have to have your legs straight, as I mentioned before. A soft bend, so you should still feel a stretch, but a soft bend allows your spine to still be long. Stay there. Let's breathe in this pose for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Inhale, drop your knees down to the ground. Come into child's pose, so take your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes to touch, and then walk your hands out in front of you. Bring your forehead down to the ground. Take a full breath in. Open your mouth, clear it away. Inhale. And relax into your mat. When you're ready, slowly come up, or you might want to stay there for a few more breaths. And then take your time to come up and out. So take some time to get comfortable in your downward dog, to get curious in your downward dog. How can you find more space throughout your spine? How can you find more strength in your arms? So have a go. Let me know how you get on, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks very much.